Shabbat Shalom, friends. Welcome to this sacred time from Congregation Kol Ami in West Hollywood. That was the beautiful music played by Lisa Edwards, Cantor Benji Ellen Schiller's Zamerah. We're so glad you're here with us on this beautiful Shabbat, a time for reflection, a time for introspection and prayer, and a time for building sacred community with one another. This week's Torah portion in Parshat Pinchas, named after the zealous priest Pinchas, has a unique writing in the Torah. Pinchas was given a brit shalom, a covenant of peace, even though his zealotry was about spearing, literally killing a fellow Israelite and his Midianite wife, who were supposedly leading the people astray in paganism. And yet, the irony is that this violent act was given, the person that did the violent act was given a blessing of peace, of shalom, eternally. Now, what's interesting is in the word shalom in Numbers 25:12, the word shalom has the letter vav in it. Vav, it looks like, might be a spear. But the vav is a vav ketiv, which means it is broken. You might think when you look at the Torah scroll that there's a mistake by the scribe, or that the letters might have been faded or cracked, the ink was cracking. But in truth, the Vav is a broken stick. And it's really, I think, the rabbi's way and the scribe's way of reminding us that shalom, peace, in this case, is criticized by the rabbis, that we don't make peace through violence. And so as we come to this Shabbat, a time of peace, when we wish one another Shabbat Shalom, let's remember that the world is a broken place, but the Sabbath comes to help us find wholeness, community, connection, and let us strive to put aside the violence that's in the world today and be the people that transform the world into this wholeness, a place of shalem, a completeness. So let's welcome Shabbat as we welcome one another with the words from the book of Psalms, Hinei ma tov u'manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, page 128. You're using Mishkan Tefillah, which you can find at ccarpress.org.
טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. How good it is to be together. How good it is to be together. Whoa. Just because we're online doesn't mean we're not together. Let's sing it one more time. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. How good it is to be together. How good it is to be together.
We turn now to the lighting of the candles, page 120 and 121, if you have the Mishkan Tefillah prayer book. And if you have candles at home with you, I hope you're lighting them with us. I'm going to turn to light my candles now. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak tonight into our hearts and our lives, and bless all who enter this sacred time and place in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship together tonight lead us to acts of kindness, shalom, peace, and ahava, love. We join together, if you with me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with your mitzvot and command us to kindle the Sabbath lights. Amen.
Amen.
And if you'll turn now to page 123, and if you have a cup of grape juice or wine at home, lift it high as we make the Kiddush together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh, zecher letziad mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta viltanu kidashta mikol amim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat l'chaim.
L'chaim. On page 138 in Mishkan Tefillah, we continue greeting Shabbat as our beloved Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat. Kabila lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat lekabila shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad hishmianu el am yuchad Adonai echad, u'shmo echad, Hashem u'tiferet, ve'litila, lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, kabila, lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat Kabila Hitoreri 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 Kiva orech Kumi ori Uri Uri Shir daberi Kvod Adonai Alayich nikla Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, kabila. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, kabila. Boi v'shalom עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי קלה, בואי קלה, לך לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת יקבלה.
Well, wherever you are, take a minute to wish one another Shabbat Shalom if you're with someone or in the chat on YouTube or Facebook, or if you have your phone and you want to just text a friend or a family member, give them a special Shabbat greeting. Page 145. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer, on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruits so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise. Each morning and night you renew your days, lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. Shabbat comes to break up the routine, even as we continue to try and stem the tide of this coronavirus. Many of us are still sheltered in place, and each day can run in one to the other. But Shabbat comes to break up the time, to mark a beginning and an end of a sense of renewal and hope, a sense of connection to something greater than ourselves, a sense of community. So let's connect our hearts and our souls as we join together in reciting the words of our tradition, the words of the Shema, page 152, the words of oneness and wholeness.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
We continue as we chant the words of tradition, the Ve'ahavta prayer. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavcha, v'chol nafshecha, v'chol me'odecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta b'ham, be'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha uk'shartam le'ot ayadecha v'hayu l'totafot beineinecha uk'tavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai Vitem kedoshim leloechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem. Amen.
On page 158, we continue to sing together. I hope if you're singing along at home that you'll also maybe clap your hands. Perhaps you've got one of our Kol Ami shakers. You can get that ready. We're going to try to bring some energy and some joy into this prayer of freedom, the prayer our people sang as we marched into freedom, to the melody of Alana Arian. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Kamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh nora tehilot osei pelech nora tehilot osei pelech. Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la la la, ya la 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 la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
Well, all that joyfulness at the Red Sea can make one ready to lay one's head down at night. The Hashkivenu prayer is a prayer that we say in the evening for protection and safety, so that we'll be renewed and refreshed when we awaken in the morning. And as we think about this season of time, we need protection more than ever. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up our guardian to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel, and for your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings, and defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Praised are you, Adonai, guardian of the people Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Amen.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Save us for for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim.
L'chaim, to life, says that prayer, to guard our lives and to guard the lives of all who can seek God's protection. Shabbat is a gift of protection. It really is actually to protect our lives and our souls from trying to work constantly, trying to fill our lives with the doing. Shabbat is a time for being. And so on this Shabbat, like our tradition teaches us that the people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing it throughout the ages as a covenant for all times, take today, take this Sabbath as time out to renew yourselves, to lift up your life in gratitude, in thanksgiving, and to remember that it is a special gift that God gave to you.
Amen. On page 164, we'll begin a tefillah with these words of intention from Psalm 51, that God might open our lips to sing praise. I hope you'll sing along with me, and then after we conclude this opening intention, you can continue with the words of our Siddur or the words of your heart through page 180. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha.
We take time now for silent prayer and meditation, the words of tradition in the Avot and Imahot, starting at 166 in the prayer book through 181, or just close your eyes and give thanks and be grateful. As always, we include in our prayers of gratitude and thanksgiving also prayers for healing. And of course, at this time when the coronavirus is still so very much with us, especially here in LA County and Southern California, we take a special mind to include all those who are suffering and in need of prayers of healing because of the coronavirus pandemic. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, God and God of our ancestors, we ask for your healing presence to be near to all who call upon you at this time. In our community, we're thinking of Bodie Aguirre, Gary Ashland, Richard Bernard, Vivian Bernard, Elaine Blatt, Todd Bloom, Jim Bloomer, Dan Bennell, Bella Browning, Nada Churina, Dale Cooley, Tino Felipe, Richard Frank, Ashley Gallagher, Georgie Garcia, Shirley Glantz, Lori Glickman, Jack Haney, Chris Hershey, Yaffa Hughes, Paul Marshall, Lynn Ehrlich McCauley, Larry Mendelson, Fred Michaels, Alan Miller, Bruce Morgan, Adela Palmer, Jeff Palmer, Carol Reback, Esther Richmond, Howard Romanoff, Ivan Rosenberg, Aaron Schroed, Miles Sen, Mike Silverman, Henry Sommerfeld, Rosina Spitzer, Terry Taylor, Eitan Wolf, and wherever you are, if you want to add the name of a loved one or a friend into this prayer, we would be happy to have their intention waved in now. Oh God, hear all of our prayers. Be near to all who call upon you in their time of need. Be especially too with doctors and nurses and all the therapists and caregivers who are helping combat this terrible virus. Watch over the scientists and the researchers who are working so hard for a cure. We say, Baruch atah Adonai Rofei Cholim, praised are you, God, who heals the sick. And together we say, Amen.
Amen. If you'd like to sing along with this healing blessing on page 371, you can find the words. Mi shebeirach avotenu mikor habracha leimotenu, may the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu bekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Shabbat Shalom. Who lives, who dies, who tells your story? Those are some of the iconic words that you know. I know all of you Kol Ami folks, you know those words, because they're at the end of the musical Hamilton, which I know that many of us enjoyed this past week, courtesy of Lin-Manuel Miranda and the original Broadway cast, and Disney Plus. Danny and I love the show. I had previously heard the soundtrack once or twice. Of course, I couldn't help but listen a few years back, but I have to come clean. I had never listened that closely and had never seen the staged version of the show until I watched last week. And I was particularly moved by that last number. Who lives, who dies, who tells your story? As I realized in watching that it was sung primarily by Eliza Hamilton née Skylar, played by Philippa Sue, as she sings about all that happened in her life after Alexander's death, and as she told his story and kept his memory alive. I'm thinking about that closing number this week as I read our Torah portion, Pinchas. Here in the book of Numbers, we find a decidedly different kind of tale, yet the resolution of this particular episode, for me, inspires a similar message. You see, this week we read of 5 brave sisters and storytellers, whose names are Machla, Noah, Hogla, Milcah, and Tirzah. These daughters of Tzlofchad, from the tribe of Manasseh, stand up tall and proud before Moses, and before Eleazar the priest, and before the entire community of Israel, as they told their father's story and their own. They say, "Our father died in the wilderness. He was not one of the faction of Korach's faction who banded against Adonai, but rather he died for his own sin, and he left no sons. Let not our father's name be lost to his clan just because he had no son. Give us a holding among our father's kinsmen." These brave women make their case before all of the people who have the power to change that for them, to give them that holding. And the holding they're requesting is an allotment of tribal lands in the Promised Land, which was to be divided amongst the tribes of Israel according to the customs of law and inheritance set forth in the Torah by God's self at Sinai. And beautifully, Moses, in this moment of their plea, of their standing before him and before all the community, Moses at first isn't sure, so he goes right to God. He goes right to the source, and he says to God and tells them what happens. And God doesn't even wait to hear the whole story before saying, yes, their plea is just. Ken, give them a holding. And what's more interesting even, their case then becomes legal precedent, that daughters can inherit when there is no son. And while today we might look at that while there is no son part, when we think about the context of our ancient Israelite ancestors and the precedent that these brave sisters set by speaking up, I still find myself deeply inspired by their story. Of course, there's many aspects of this that we might find remarkable or inspiring. And I suspect that perhaps they're becoming tellers of their father's story, not just because they're personally invested in receiving inheritance, but because they're in mourning, because they miss their dad. And they use that story not just for their own sake, but I think truly to keep his name alive. They make their case by demanding not only justice for themselves, which they deserve in its own right, but by reminding Moses and the leaders of their community, of the entire community of Israel, of their father's story. He was a good guy, they say. He wasn't one of those rebels back from the episode a few weeks back with Korach. They embrace this idea that they can be tellers of his story. Let our father's name not be lost. And of course, by living and by telling that story, Machla, Noah, Hogla, Tirzah, and Milcah teach us something about pursuing justice today in our own time. We learn from these sisters the value in supporting each other and speaking truth to power. They did it together. It wasn't just one of them. It was all 5 of them together, named each one. We learn from these sisters to challenge the legal status quo when we know it deep in our hearts to be unjust. And we learn from these sisters that sometimes, in order to make a change, we must be tellers of others' stories, in addition to telling our own stories. Sylvia Shemin writes about their accomplishment in the Torah, a women's commentary, and she says this. She says, "The achievement of Tzlofchad's daughters was a landmark in women's rights regarding the inheritance of land from those days up to now. In addition, however, the story of these 5 women offers us a compelling lesson for all those who believe that their destiny is fixed, or that divine justice has abandoned them. It encourages us to think differently and provides a message of hope for all those faced with obstacles. She continues writing, perhaps the most important legacy of Tzlofchad's daughters is their call to us to take hold of life with our own hands. After all, nothing is more sacred than life itself, and the fight for what we believe is worthy. We too have the ability to know what is right and what our rights ought to be. And when we believe in our capacity to shape history, even to the point of being able to change a law that came from the revelation at Sinai, then we pay tribute to these sisters. Friends, in our day and time, that message is reverberating in my ears tonight, just like the song of Miranda's musical. Particularly in these last few weeks, as our Supreme Court has rendered a number of decisions on a wide range of vital issues, ones that I imagine you might support and disagree with, all in the same breath. We can remember the story of these sisters as we work to change whatever laws we find unjust in our society. Each and every one of us, living and breathing today, can tell the story of Machla, Noah, Hogla, Tirza, and Milka as we work and fight for what we believe is worthy and righteous and just and true. These daughters of Tzlofchad, they lived, they told a story, and they changed the world. My friends, let's reflect on their message this Shabbat, and let's follow in their footsteps. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Yasher Koach. Thank you, Rabbi, for a beautiful teaching on this Shabbat. And Shabbat Shalom to all our friends who are with us, watching and sharing in this Shabbat service from Congregation Kol Ami in West Hollywood. We're delighted that you're here and this spiritual time together. Want to share a few upcoming items and events with you and invite you to join us online in one of our many classes or gatherings together and build sacred community. All of our events are on our website at kol-ami.org, and you can register there and receive the Zoom link for many of our online classes. We're completely virtual still at this time, and will be for the next several months. So we invite you to join us and be there. Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m., the second installment of a wonderful class taught by Dr. Susan Igdaloff, 3 influential Jewish women you probably don't know but should. And this is the second week. We'll be learning about Dr. Laura Stachel and her incredible work that she's doing. And a special treat is that she will actually be with us. Not only will we be learning about her contributions, but what she does. She's quite an amazing, inspiring person. Spoken many times at the United Nations, received multi-million-dollar grants for her work and to support her work. And I know this is somebody you're going to want to learn from and learn about. So that's 4 o'clock this Sunday, July 12th. And then next Sunday, July 19th, we'll hear from another incredible woman, Rabbi Laura Geller, the third woman rabbi ordained in this era. She's speaking about her book that won a National Jewish Book Award, Getting Good at Getting Older. And she'll be in conversation with me. And if you'd like a copy of the book, we actually have copies at our temple. And if you want to call our office or shoot Rabbi Chaikin or I an email or our office an email, we can get that to you. And it's available for sale at Kol Ami. Getting Good at Getting Older, Rabbi Laura Geller, next Sunday. And for those of you that are members, it's membership renewal time, a time to continue and to make a commitment for your financial support for our congregation. And if you are not yet a member, we would like to invite you. If you've been finding us online and joining in on our free classes and offerings, or perhaps with us on Friday nights, we surely invite your support of our congregation on a regular basis. We call that membership. So if you'd like to receive membership information, just let us know by going onto our website. All the information's there. Shoot us an email, connect with us. we'd be happy to talk to you and to especially to receive your support for what we do to continue to bring you spiritual input and uplift and continue to bring you learning and most of all sacred community in these times. You can do all of that at our website at kol-ami.org, kol-ami.org. And you can make a donation there as well in the top right-hand corner of our website. And we invite you to support what we do or to perhaps sponsor a class or a learning or perhaps next week's Friday night service. So we look forward to welcoming you this week at many other activities. We have Lunch and Learn this week and Rabbi Chenkin's mindfulness and meditation, and all are on our website. Shabbat Shalom. We continue now on page 591 with Aleinu L'Shabeach prayer. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding, loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with joy, of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. Thus it has been said, Adonai is sovereign over all the earth. On that day Adonai shall be one, and God's name shall be one.
We continue now as our thoughts turn to all those who we are with us only in our memories, all those for whom we are mourning this week or observing a yahrzeit. This week, our congregation is observing the yahrzeit of Jerry Mann, the uncle of Carrie Fettman, J.S. Aronow, father of Dr. Aaron Aronow, Shalom Pinchas Rummel, the great-grandfather of Grant Goshen, Hyman Fiddleman, father of Dan Fiddleman, Sylvia Drachman Gottlieb, grandmother of David Drachman, Mark Wiener, the brother of Bob Wiener, Bill Berg, friend of Peter Mackler, Jeanette Kaufman, sister of Dr. Eugene Rogolsky, Helen Egan, the mother of Jack Egan, Ann Super, grandmother of David Kruskell, and Edith Seitman, mother of Karen Seitman, and mother-in-law of Rabbi Egger. And we've been reciting Kaddish this past year to remember Claire Finkel, Gilbert Weinbar, Sarah Rivka Seltzer, Dave Udelhofen, Anne-Marie Giambruno, Pedro Santiago, Devona Lewis, Leonard Irving Schertz, Betty Perry, Jennifer Bachner, David Slobodian, Vivi Davidson, Azrikam Milchan, Claire Cohen, Shel Rosenthal, Boris Miller, Chris Jacobs, Audrey Weiss, Ray Lopez, Bill Kokol, Thomas Nathan, Robert Barnett, Israel Irving Margolin, Nina Ross, Michael Finelli, Patricia D'Amico, Leonard Mark Leibovitz, Rabbi Richard Levitin, Murray Levine, Luke Thornton, Chantal Legg Bird, Edward Wolf Salzberg, Lenny Schulman, Rebecca Alexander, Alex Litvak, Robert Kent, and we note with sadness the death this week of Orlando Castorina, brother-in-law of Rabbi Egger. If you are remembering someone at this time, we invite you to speak their name out loud, wherever you are, whether you're on your own or with others, and add their name into this prayer of affirming life. Kaddish Yatom, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yirteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'gala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha b'richu, le'ila min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and may we always find ways to comfort one another in our times of mourning and our times of need. Together may we say, Amen. We'll close with words of song you can find on page 642. Words from Psalm 29. Adonai oz le'amo yitain, that God may give strength to God's peoples and bless our people and all people with peace. Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo, Adonai yivarech et amo, Vashalom, Adonai yivarech et amo, Vashalom, Vashalom, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo, Adonai yivarech et amo, Vashalom, Adonai yivarech et amo, Vashalom, Vashalom, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo.
We started tonight by understanding the Vav in this week's Torah portion in Numbers 25:12, and the word Shalom and Brit Shalom, the Vav Ketiv, the broken Vav that has a little brokenness to it. We are each like that broken Vav, a little broken too. And let this Shabbat come to heal us and lift us up and make us complete and whole and shalem once again as we wish one another Shabbat Shalom, inviting you to join us at our virtual Oneg, which you can find the link on our website at kol-ami.org, and wish each of you a wonderful Shabbat and a wonderful week. Shabbat Shalom, friends.